Hello, friends. You are welcome to Code with Matt. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button. And if you like what you are watching, kindly click the like button. Thank you very much, guys. So today, we are going to start a new series on C. We're starting a tutorial on C, learning the C language. So this is a response to a lot of people who took the same or who are into the same program that I'm currently taking on ALX Africa. So I'm doing this series as a to give back to the community, to the ALS community, and to help other students who are finding it difficult to understand the C program to be able to have an easy grasp on the C language. So kindly follow me as we go along. The first thing we are going to talk about is we're going to look at introduction to the C language. Introduction to the C language. So if you are new to programming, you would understand that there are one of the things you should understand is that there are so many programming languages out there, and actually you can use any programming language. You could master any programming language of your choice, and actually, while some programming languages excel over the other, they excel in some things over the others. Um, so your choice of a programming language may depend on where you want to specialize, what applications you want to build. But there are some programming languages that are general purpose programming languages, and C is one of those languages. And another thing that would interest you is that C is one of the oldest programming languages. So, if you want to really understand programming, you want to be able to go through time. You want to be able to understand what has happened all this while in the software development world. Then it would be a very good thing for you to understand the C language. And believe me, if you can understand the C language, it will be very much easier for you to code in any other language, Python, JavaScript, and the likes. So let's have a quick dive into C. So what is C? What is C? So C is a statically typed programming language developed by Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie is known as the father of C. He's also one of the co-founders of Unix. So C is a general purpose language. Um, there could be a debate whether C is a low-level language or a high-level language. But along the line, we are going to take a deeper dive and understand where C stands in low level or high level language. So, however, for what it's worth, it was developed in 1972, and it was one of the projects in AT&T Bells as at that time. So, let's continue. So, let's see. Is C a high level language? Is it a low level language? For you to understand the concept of high level or low level language, one of the things you need to understand is that your computer does not speak English, your computer does not speak Arabic, your computer does not speak any other language. What your computer understands is binary. So everything that your computer is reading to you, this presentation that you are seeing is in the form of binaries, zeros and ones. That is all. That is all, zeros and ones. So for you to be able to communicate effectively with a computer, and for you to be able to get a computer to do one thing or the other, you must understand the concept of programming languages. So the language the language that is nearest to what the computer understands are regarded as the lowest level languages, and the language that is higher, the languages that are higher to human languages, are regarded as high level languages. So that's where the concept of low level or high level is. So nearest to your computer language, of course, we've already said binary, and that's where you come in contact with this machine language. So machine language is actually in binaries, and that is what communicates directly with your computer. So the truth is, you can actually code in machine language. If you understand machine language, you could actually write a code in machine language, and the beauty of it is that it's going to be super fast. But the truth is, it's possible to learn, um, but I believe there will be so many limitations as regards to what you can do and amount of time it will take you to write programs in machine language. So nearer to that is the assembly language. We will look into more of the assembly language when we talk about the compilation process of C. Then you now start having the higher level languages. So that's where you now come in contact with C, Pascal, Fortran, and then of course there are languages that are higher than C. There are languages that take further steps from C. For example, Java, JavaScript, um, Python. These are higher level languages. So, where would you say C ranks? Would you say C is a high level language? If you say C is a high level language, yes, you are correct. And if you say it's a low level language, just because it just comes directly above the assembly language, so yes, you could still be right. So conventionally, some people would agree that C is a mid-level language. So whichever one you choose, if you choose to say it's a low-level language, you are still correct, because what you need to do is to understand why it is a low-level language, what makes it a low-level language. With C regarded as the mother of all modern languages, so you would understand that several languages were built on the concepts of C language. So that is why you could still agree that it's a low level language. So, but for what it's worth, you just need to understand how the language hierarchy is, and understand what you mean when you say it's a high level or when you say it's a low level. That is all just what you need, so that you don't get confused. So what are the advantages of C over other programs? So, sorry, over other programming languages. So the first thing is, because C is not, it is not assembly code, it is not machine code, it is not written in zeros and ones. It is easy for you to understand, because in a way it comes nearer to your language, to English language. In a way, you are able to just take a glance at a source code and you're able to understand, okay, this is what is happening in this source code. So it's easy to understand. So there is the presence of many libraries. Actually, the C program itself does not have so much. It's actually the size is actually, it's not as robust as other languages like Python and co. But the beautiful thing is that there are so many libraries that you can use to help you to get the output that you want. So it is easy to write. It has a low cost. So C does not take so much of your resources. It doesn't take so much resources to run a C program. It doesn't take so much resources. So it means that if you have a computer, if you have a device that that is not running on, so that does not have so much resources, so much memory size, so much processing speed, then C program is going to excel. there is this there was this thing I came across on Twitter one time, and I saw how C is the least power consuming language that you could ever have. So it doesn't consume power, it doesn't consume your memory space, so it can run on any device. So that is why it's C language is one of the languages that are used in embedded systems. You program Arduinos with C. You can program a an automated system, factory machines with C language, because it will not need so much of memory space or so much of processor computation to get your program running. So fast execution speed, it's portable. That means you could run your source code, have it compiled on different computers, and get your desired output. So easy debugging, to some extent it is easy to debug C language to some extent. So procedure oriented language is fast compilation. So you could have dynamic memory allocation. So in C, you could dynamically allocate your memory. You could decide, okay, you could know from beforehand that um, I don't know how much memory space this is a certain output is going to, or a certain program is going to take at runtime. So dynamically, as the program runs, you could write your code in a way that your program will allocate memory and even free that memory. So you could use C to for your execution of algorithms and then for different data structures. So the disadvantages, if you are coming from programming languages like Python, C++, there is the object oriented programming which you cannot do with C. Inefficient memory management. So in C, there is no garbage collection. So that means every memory you dynamically allocate, you must make sure you free. So you are the one who is going to free those memories. So it's something that, believe me, when you go deep into C, it may be a headache, but it's a skill that you have to also learn. So runtime checking. So at compilation is when C checks for errors. So you might have written a large code base. Your source code may be so much, and then at compilation is when you detect that there are errors. So which may make it hard for debugging, and then it could be frustrating. Absence of namespace. Namespace is a concept that you find in C++ and other languages. So if you're coming from such a language, you will not be able to get such in C. So absence of exception handling, and there are no constructors or destructors. So what are the modern uses of C language? So C language in modern times is still being used to make different operating systems, to write games. Like I said before, you could program an embedded system, Internet of Things devices, which need very little resource consumption. So you could program these devices with C language. Database designs, compilers. So even the modern languages still have their compilers or interpreters written in C. For example, the primary interpreter for the Python language is actually written in C. And then graphics user interfaces can be written with C language. So with this introduction, um, what I want you to understand is that understanding of C language is still very much useful even as at this time. So if you take your time to understand this language, number one is that you'll be able to apply it with the modern times. Number two, it makes it easier for you to understand and code in higher level programming languages, since most of them actually have some origin in C. And then with the difficulties of C language, then it makes it easier to actually write codes in other languages. So thank you very much. um, if you enjoyed this video, please kindly like, subscribe, and if you have questions, feedbacks, or comments, please kindly use the comment section. I would make sure I go through your comments. Thank you very much. So I'll see you in the next video when we look at a basic setup for writing C programs. Thank you. Bye guys.